Welcome to another edition of the Comm Conversation here on WCTV, a YouTube series where we dive into the career path and time in the Department of Communication for our Waynesburg University students, professors, and alumni. We have a member of our proud alumni here today, Ashley Hall. Ashley's not a huge fan of being on this side of the camera, so bear with us. Ashley is a good spokesperson though, so we'll have a good conversation with her today. I'll start with a softball, Ashley. What is your biggest influence in this department, professor-wise?
My biggest influence, I would have to say, would be Dr. Sherman. You come to him with any question, he knows the answer or will find the answer for you. He's just a great person, great professor. He was my advisor. I could come to him with anything, whether it was school, whether it was personal, didn't matter. He was always there for me.
How much do you think that your time at Waynesburg helped to prepare you for your time in the field?
Well, in all reality, I didn't even want to go to a four-year school. My parents are both teachers, and they said, you're going to a four-year school. So I am glad I went to Waynesburg. The job that I applied for, which is actually the graphic designer at Cineroast, was supposed to be for a person with an associate's degree. And I'm still learning while I'm there, and I don't think if I had an associate's degree that I would be able to do the job that I'm doing right now.
Do you think, and you're a photographer by trade, what is the appeal for you when it comes to photography? Because you're taking pictures left and right of different things all day long.
Oh yeah, well, I've been taking pictures since 9th grade. I got into it because my dad does photography on the side, so I just kind of tagged along with him. The appeal, I would have to say, is just being able to capture a moment and being able to cherish that moment forever.
I'd say it's a little more difficult than I thought it would be. A lot of us, including a couple of guys on cameras right now, we're all in the photography class offered here at Waynesburg, taught by Dr. Sherman. It's hard.
I get texts from you, I get texts from other people all the time. They're like, can you help me?
In addition to photography, and this applies to photography as well, you were the executive editor of Mad Anthony, the school's yearbook, during your time here at Waynesburg. What was that experience like from both a photography and organizational standpoint, along with a leadership standpoint?
Most people, when you come out of college, they want 2 to 3, 3 to 5 years experience for you to even apply to an entry-level position. So being able to do all the extracurriculars and have all the jobs at Waynesburg, which I probably was involved in clubs and organizations, probably about 10 at the same time, on top of a double major and all that other fun stuff. It just helped me secure a job, basically. It taught me to be accountable, it taught me leadership skills, it taught me everything that I needed to be self-sufficient, which is what a company wants. They want you to be able to go out and do what you need to do on your own, but also have that guidance of a boss or a person that you go to get stuff approved.
How much did it help in terms of leadership? Because you were basically the highest ranking member of a club that had 10, 15, 20 people working for you, and all of those people looked to you for guidance and leadership. What was that like?
It was...
I'm sure stressful.
It was stressful. Right? College was stressful in general, but it was worth it. My first meeting with Professor Schiffbauer, who's the advisor of the yearbook, I came in and I had a list and I was like, this is what I want to do this year. This is my time frame, this is what I want to do. And she was like, honestly, I was worried that, you coming in, being new, and then she was like, you know what, just take it. Like, this is fine. Like, you're prepared, you're organized, like, you know what you're doing. And I also held some leadership roles in high school, so that helped as well. I was the president of our teen leadership club, so I knew kind of how to run a club and kind of just, the basics. But I also did learn a lot of budgeting. Being the executive editor of the yearbook, you have to keep a budget. You have to hire people, you have to fire people. And it's hard to fire people, but if you come out of college, I mean, I hope you never have to fire someone. But if you come out of college knowing how to hire and fire people, that also makes you more marketable.
You were also the leader in the Mac lab, which was a big addition to all of us here because you helped us get through a multitude of projects throughout our middle years of school, at least from my point of view, and I know a bunch of others share that same thought. What is some advice that you'd give to an incoming freshman at Waynesburg?
An incoming freshman at Waynesburg, I would say get involved, and I know everyone says this, but I'm a design student. Yeah, there's like WUSN and WCTV and the Yellow Jacket, which you don't really think, design, but it is. WUSN, I made all of the sports graphics for about football and basketball for almost 2 years. The Yellow Jacket, you do photography, you can do web design, you can do layout design, you can do all sorts of stuff. And then there's also, the design club, which is just for design. And I mean, everyone helps out everyone within, especially the Department of Communication at Waynesburg. But I would say just get involved in, especially your first semester, your freshman year, and then find out what you like, and then just, try to do those, find out what, you can handle stress-wise, because it's different for most people. Most people cannot do 10 jobs and 10 organizations and stuff like that, but if you can handle it, do it.
We're talking with Ashley Hall here on WCTV's The Comm Conversation. A couple more questions for Ashley. The 2019 Department of Communication grad before we let her go. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you've faced in your young career so far?
I would say that the biggest problem with being a recent grad is honestly trying to find that first job. Most people do not count your time at Waynesburg and your jobs at Waynesburg as experience. However, you just need to know in your heart that they are, and you need to fight for it. And you need to say, yes, I got paid for some of these jobs. Like, these were jobs, part-time jobs, not just clubs and organizations. I have 3 to 5 years experience coming out of Waynesburg. Why am I not qualified for this job? You just need to fight for it. The other struggle is communication. And you will learn this, that within the Department of Communication, you're used to people emailing you back. You're used to being connected with other people. But once you apply for jobs, you never hear back. But you just have to be that person that calls or emails or stops in and say, hey, I'm just following up if you need anything else from me. It's just that extra push that makes them seem like, oh, maybe they really do want this job. Maybe they really do deserve this job.
What do you think has been the most rewarding part of your young career so far?
The most rewarding part is definitely handing a finished project to my boss. So we do all of the printing, all of the designing, everything there. So I will get a work order, and I will design the tin lid, and I will print the tin lid, and I will apply the tin lid.
What is a tin lid?
A tin lid. Okay, so Cineroast does roasted nuts, so they have tins.
Okay.
And then you can do a custom tin lid, so it's like a picture if you want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you want to say on it, or it can just be a generic tin lid. But I will print those out on a large format 64-inch printer.
Okay.
Then I will laminate them. Then I will plot them, which is basically just a giant Cricut, like a cutter. And then I will take them and I will apply them.
That seems like a very complicated process.
Yes, and we're starting to get holiday orders of 300 plus tins.
So Ashley's job is becoming more stressful.
Yes.
Okay.
Ashley lives for stress.
Ashley does live for stress. That is confirmed, believe me. If you could give advice to a younger version of yourself, what would you tell a young and aspiring photographer, Ashley Hall?
That's a tough one.
Let's say 5 years ago, what would you tell her?
5 years ago. 5 years ago would be 8th grade.
No, it wouldn't be.
Yes, it would.
5 years ago would not be 8th grade.
Yeah, it would. No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
My dad is so mad at me right now.
That would totally be like 8 or 9 years ago, right? Okay.
My dad was my math teacher. He would be so mad. 5 years ago would be 11th grade.
Yeah, this totally confirms the thought process that nobody in this department is good at math.
I am good at math most of the time.
Not that time.
Not that time. So 11th grade was actually right around the time when I stopped wanting to be a pastry chef and didn't know what I wanted to do.
A pastry chef?
Yes, I wanted to be a pastry chef.
Okay.
So
now you're taking photos of food.
Yes, now I'm taking photos of food.
Okay.
So I would just say, go with your gut, basically. Being a pastry chef is, art in of itself, so kind of doing the same thing.
Ashley, this wasn't bad at all. She survived her encounter with the camera from the other side, folks. I really appreciate you doing this and taking the time for my practicum project. I appreciate you coming to Waynesburg and filming this with us, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Join us next time on the Comm Conversation, where we talk to Waynesburg University students, professors, and alumni about their career path and their time in the department. Thank you.